Hello and welcome from richmindhypnosis.com, the latest catalogs of cutting-edge hypnotherapy. This is Jesse Berg, this session's hypnotist. And with some of these more new sessions, the introduction here is shorter. I just recommend that you do listen to the pre-talk that was sent to you, or contact us at administrator@richmindhypnosis.com to get it emailed to you again. This will go over some general understanding and preparation, so we do not need to spend too much time here, other than to get prepared and excited to very shortly experience some relaxing changes. The only thing I will suggest now is that you do open your mind and at least on some level now accept there is a possibility of change and allow some cooperation to surface in an honest effort to do your part to get results and some great relaxation at the same time. The first step now is to be in a quiet, comfortable place where you will not be disturbed for some time. Lay back, get ready to listen, and shortly after the first few words, you will be asked to close your eyes and relax. So, realize these are not to be listened to while driving an automobile. They do induce an eyes closed state of hypnosis. So go ahead and prepare your area, get comfortable, and your session will begin in a few moments. Remember, each listening is unique, and you will be able to remain alert enough to keep from sleeping, yet maintain a nice, relaxed state of mind. Thank you. Now that you are in a comfortable, quiet place, we can begin. And as we do begin our hypnosis now, you can just allow, if you have not yet, your eyes to close and continue wondering just what the next few moments will bring. And as much as you may be familiar with how this Rich Mind Hypnosis induction begins, you can anticipate how it will end. Differently this time. There are subtle differences in each induction and similarities as well. As long as you are indeed in a comfortable position, listening and ready, allowing your eyes to remain closed, you can notice, as I suggested, that there are sounds and silences around you now. There is furniture and some arrangement, and yet that can fade more and more from your focus and awareness, just being more concerned with the sound of my voice, along with the sounds around you turning more and more into silences, as you allow your mind to focus in on my voice, letting any other sounds begin to fade into the distance, like the sounds passing from outside of a car that you are driving in. But now you are here, relaxing just as much as possible now, knowing that somehow, in some way, you will relax even deeper as we continue. You have thoughts that wonder what will happen, how this works, and you can be aware of those as you quiet your mind, simply listening for my next word, which causes you to relax more than the last word. you can be aware that as relaxed as you get, you can still stay awake and just alert enough to listen to all the words and yet go so very relaxed. Now, I, as the hypnotist, do wonder just how deep you will go today, and as you continue to listen intently, I will ask you to take your attention to your eyelids. They are closed and relaxed now. Feel your eyelids, and you know that it is possible to relax your eyelids so much that they will just not open. The question now is, how powerfully can you relax your eyelids today? In a couple moments I will ask that you relax your eyelids so much that they will not open even when you try. Let me explain to you how you will do this. You can imagine what it is like to pretend that you have relaxed your eyelids so much that they will not open. It is like the imagination you used as a child to pretend so well, and then act it out as if it were real. So in a moment, when I ask you to use your imagination and pretend so well that you have relaxed your eyes so much that they will not open, you will be able to do that easily, just as a child would pretend and run up to their parent and say, "Watch, my eyes won't open." And the child would pretend to try and lift their eyes by moving their eyebrows to show that they really can't open them. You too can now reach inside to this same powerful, childlike imagination and relax your eyelids so much that they will not open, even when you try. Even when you try and test them by lifting your eyebrows. So now, set your intention to make this work. Relax your eyelids so much now, and try and test them to make sure they won't work. And stop testing, and relax even more now, and let that same level of relaxation in your eyelids spread down through your entire body, and you can know that we as human beings do better the more we practice. So in a moment we will do that again and make it more powerful. I will give you something new to make this much more effective. We know as adults that you still maintain the freedom to open your eyes, if you chose to. We also now know that the power of directed imagination can work wonders. So we know that you could choose to open them. We know that when you use your imagination to relax your eyelids so much, you can also choose to not have them open, just as the child was able to pretend so well. So, in a moment I will ask you again, and set your intention very powerfully now, that it will work even better this time, and the next time. So now, relax your eyes so much that they will not open, even when you try. And go ahead and try and test them now. And stop testing, and let this new level of relaxation spread down your entire body while you take in a deep breath and exhale, relaxing more. And the more you relax, the deeper you relax with each breath. And you can realize that each time you do anything in hypnosis, you get better and deeper each time. As we continue, just notice the next few breaths you take, and your breath can be a powerful, wonderful guide into relaxation for you. The nice relaxation we have developed in your eyelids can spread through your entire being, and let yourself become aware now that indeed each breath you inhale and exhale without even thinking about it takes you more relaxed than the last breath, while you wonder just how good you can feel. In fact, go ahead now and take an even deeper breath in. And as you exhale, relax. Go ahead and imagine inside your mind a mirror. This mirror can look any way you want it to look, as long as you can see that mirror in your mind's imagination now. And in a moment, you can look into that mirror, and we will start counting together, seeing numbers reflected back at you. The thing about this is that with each number we count and see in the mirror, you can become more deeply relaxed with each number. That eventually the numbers will fade into nothing and nothing until all the numbers are gone from the mirror, and you are just that much more relaxed. Want this? Set your intention that it will cause you to go that much deeper. And know that it only takes a few numbers before they are all relaxed right out of your mind. Each number will become faded, slower and quieter very soon, until they are gone. And now look into that mirror in your mind, and I will begin. Slowly, 1, more relaxed with each number. 2, slowly down already. 3, more relaxed. 4, slower and more relaxed. See into the mirror. 5, even more relaxed with each number, beginning to fade. 6, and very relaxed, almost totally faded, and 7, so relaxed, fading, and now even the mirror is fading and completely gone. So put your attention on the first color that comes to your mind to represent relaxation. So you may attach my voice to that color so that you can see the sounds of my voice guiding you much more relaxed. Now gently put your focus on your face, the area around your eyes, your cheeks, your lips, the tongue inside your mouth that can relax back from the roof of your mouth, and set your mind to relax all of your face just a little more and more with each breath you take. And allow your awareness to go to both of your arms as equally as you can, and allow them to begin relaxing even a little more until they start to feel separate from you. And as you take your awareness to your legs, let me tell you that going deeply into hypnosis at your own rate feels the best. And allow your legs to relax as much as they are ready to, until they relax more with each breath you take, without even thinking about it, for no other reason than me suggesting it. And let the relaxation you have developed spread right down through your feet. And let me tell you, there is no need to feel the need to do anything else than let each word take you more deeply relaxed. And there is no need to go into a deep hypnosis faster than what is comfortable to you. And now, take your attention, if you will, back to your eyelids, and this time it will be even more powerful. And relax your eyes even more than before, so that they will not open even when you test and try them. And go ahead and try and test your eyelids to make sure they won't work now. And stop testing now and relax that much more deeply now. Become aware of how much better you are beginning to feel, and notice the relaxation is good for. Hypnosis just makes things feel that much better. Now as we focus in on today's issue. Today, we unwind the seemingly ever-tightening grasp of depression and reveal the understanding that almost magically displays why depression can end in your daily experience. If you just listen closely, I can begin by telling you something important. Feeling better. If you can just imagine the possibilities, even if you haven't imagined them for yourself yet, that when you imagine and see yourself without depression, you start to see just how possible it is to live with more freedom. Perhaps seeing yourself doing certain things you have been putting off, feeling refreshed and happy when you awake in the morning, feeling closer to the people around you, noticing the ability to feel safe and open up to everything, and know it is possible. It is okay to be vulnerable at times. You can just ponder the possibility that it is fascinating for a person to experience rapid change in your life, even when being so unsure one moment before. Deeper relaxed. But changes begin to happen unexpectedly, and just like the feeling of holding a lottery ticket in your hand, you feel is unlikely to win. You would have a much different feeling within, inside yourself, as you hear your exact number called, and it becomes real. Now, and as we continue, just relax a little more with each moment while breathing deeply. This next statement will become more and more real to you the more you listen. And that statement is, you are on some level, some small level, beginning to notice changes that you have always had within. And now we will use this statement to assist you in becoming more deeply relaxed. So each time you hear this statement over the next 10 seconds, you can become a little more relaxed than you are now, and a little more than the one before it. And you are on some small level beginning to notice changes that you have always had within. You are on some small level beginning to notice changes that you have always had within. You are on some small level beginning to notice changes that you have always had within. You are on some level beginning to notice changes that you have always had within. And we begin now an awesome story. There is a tale from many centuries ago, starting with a man who set out to discover his riches and prove himself to the world around him. This man had acquired many maps to treasures and wisdom. Each map would take him to a new treasure, and each treasure would add to his fortune. And he would return from his journey with all the wealth and wisdom he had desired. To make life perfection. But as this man began the journey to his first treasure, he found the map led nowhere. With some initial frustration, he decided that the next map would successfully lead him to the next treasure. So he continued. But unfortunately, he would soon find that the second map also led nowhere. And he started to become desperate as he continued, hoping that the next map would be a success. But continued time and time again to come up empty-handed at the end of a new road. He began to feel depressed and the idea of returning home became less and less reasonable to this great adventurer. This man would eventually come upon one final treasure that he did successfully find, but it will be a treasure he never thought possible that will answer his newfound depression. The beginning of this metaphor leads us into our first interesting revelation. The first true revelation is that our natural born state of mind is happiness, void of any depression. Whether we first understand this or not, depression has to be created with thoughts of comparison. We are unable to be depressed without comparing to what we think it means to be happy. Only by deciding in our thoughts what maps will lead us to happiness can we come up with a false idea that we must be depressed to justify not finding the treasure by the false maps, trying to lead us to happiness, when happiness is already your natural state. This will be, as you wonder if it is true, revealed to you very shortly as we continue. Let each of the next 5 statements take you more deeply hypnotized. Happiness is natural underneath misled ideas. Happiness is natural underneath misled ideas. And happiness is natural underneath misled ideas. Deeper each time. Happiness is natural underneath misled ideas. And happiness is natural underneath misled ideas. And deeper relaxed as we continue. Sometimes a person may feel their depression is because of other people. Sometimes because of what is happening with work. Sometimes with family. Sometimes regarding romance. And others, a person feels depression is coming simply from feeling unsure about themselves. And in most cases, many people can say all of the previous is true. And yet these things are only symptoms. The symptoms that come from deciding you should be able to follow a map and get a certain outcome. But that cause no longer has to create the symptoms. We feel people should be a certain way to us because we followed the map. We believe our career should be a certain way because we followed a map. We believe that we should be a certain way because we followed a map. And often a person will believe that everything should be a certain way because they follow their false maps to treasures that did not turn out the way originally thought. And there is great reason to be happy now. We will continue this uncovering by letting the next statement take you even more relaxed, mind and body. Each time you hear it, feeling your mind become quieter and body become much more calm. And it is. Ask yourself, how can I be happy even though this doesn't match my map? Let each of the next 5 statements take you deeper than the previous. Ask yourself, how can I be happy even though this doesn't match my map? How can I be happy even though this doesn't match my map? How can I be happy even though this doesn't match my map? And how can you be happy even though this doesn't match your map? And go deeper now. As we continue the story from much earlier in this session, just take 3 seconds to notice where your level of relaxation is in your breathing, body feelings, mental relaxation, the great adventurer from earlier made many attempts to reach his destination, and then the next, and find his next treasure, only to always end up with nothing. And always, nothing lied at the end of the map's direction. He would go to the next, and then the next, and find nothing. Finally, this man, on a journey, surrendered and decided it was time to return home, thinking to himself he had failed his journey to acquire all he desired. As the man returned in the direction of home, he wondered why his maps to his treasures failed him. It made no sense to the man, and he had no way of figuring out this mystery. And as the man finally neared home, he saw his city ahead and could hear the sound of music. It seemed coming from his city. And as the man neared, he could now see enough to see people standing in the streets, and this puzzled the man, who now has his mind mostly off of his seemingly failed journey, and quickens his pace toward his city, only to step foot into it and find all the people were waiting for him. The crowds applauded, and the man starts to remember his home. He has seemed to have forgotten so much since he left. The man remembers his loving friends that smile at him, re-entering the city of his home. His family awaiting him to take him to his mansion on the hill. And as this man fully recalls his home, now walking into his beautiful home, surrounded by caring friends and family, remembering his peaceful days, he wonders just why he was tempted to leave this place for something better. And then the man smiles to himself, as now he remembers the temptation of the false maps to the false treasures, when all along he was already home. As this great adventurer found, we too find our way back home, leaving depression eventually behind forever, and learning that the only way to leave our natural home of happiness is to be tempted by false maps that decide which way we should go and what we should find when we get there. The only spot on the map is the honest and realistic place you stand, where you will start to and continue to uncover all of your long forgotten riches, which is a true peace of mind. Happiness is not to be found in so-called journeys, but to awaken to what the false maps have taken you away from. Depression is not to be defeated, but to be seen through. By seeing now, what maps have led you to believe things should be a certain way. Certain destinations should have been reached, when all along you were naturally happy. So we know now that each time you find a feeling of depression, it is just an old map that you have not yet tossed out. You will find that the relationships you have can transform by letting them be as they are. The career you are in will be what it is until you see through a map telling you it should be different. You will find that how you feel about yourself is only depression, because somewhere along the way you believed a map that said you needed to reach a certain destination to find the treasure. And when you see that, you can remember you are already home, and everything is supposed to be the way it is until it changes, because it brought you to this very moment to see new things and find peace of mind once again and forever. Let the next 3 statements take you more relaxed into a deeper state, and from now on ask, how can I be happy, even if this isn't how I planned? Deeper each time. How can I be happy, even if this isn't how I planned? How can I be happy, even if this isn't how I planned? How can I be happy, even if this isn't how I planned? And how can you be happy, even if this isn't how you planned? And feeling wonderful while knowing that you will still have goals and dreams, but they are found with a peaceful, accepting mind. Not to be misled into sadness because something doesn't quite match a predetermined map. In a moment, there will be silence for a few minutes, and during this time, while you await the next words, you can notice each thought that enters your mind, each emotion and feeling, and let it immediately pass as you become aware how each thought, emotion, and feeling only take you more deeply relaxed with each breath, and how good this feels. And when I speak again, you will be able to relax more and begin. Gently now, slowly, bring your awareness back here. And in a moment, I will count up to the number 5, and not before reaching the last number. You will, on the last count, open your eyes feeling totally refreshed, a little more with each number, and starting slowly. 1. Staying so deep, knowing that you have on some level begun to notice the changes you have always had within. And 2. Very relaxed still, and now you know that happiness is just underneath misled ideas and maps. And 3. Gently, a little more alert, and knowing you can ask, how can I be happy anyway? And 4. Still feeling relaxed, but very close now, and knowing that on the next count, you can then emerge fully, and also knowing at any time you can remember that awesome scene when the man on his journey entered back into his kingdom to once again claim his clarity and peace of mind. And 5. Eyes open and feeling refreshed and better in every way. Refreshed eyes, healthy breathing. a greater awareness of self, and notice indeed how wonderful you feel. And a very powerful part of this session is the embedded positive suggestions that you will pick out more and more each time you listen to this session. And let me say congratulations. And as I thank you very much for choosing richmindhypnosis.com, I want to offer you something now. It takes 3 to 5 minutes to fully emerge from a deep state of hypnosis, even though it will last through tonight as you sleep, on some level. You can now close your eyes, let this recording end, and just take advantage of this relaxed state of mind to lay quietly and meditate on your inner reactions to all of the suggestions you heard, and the inner acclamations and adjustments will take place. Just let this play out and enjoy the peace and quiet as you observe yourself. And from richmindhypnosis.com, thanks again.